guys, what's up? It's Joe Ready from Rady's Rides. I'm here at Alfa Romeo Maserati of St. Petersburg, and of course, if I'm at an Alfa Romeo dealership, we're gonna bring some extra Italian flair. What I have is this 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Now let me give you a little background story on Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo has been in and out of the US market from time to time. They recently made a return a few years ago, and for some people, they thought it was actually the first time that Alfa Romeo had been sold on our shores, but it wasn't. Alfa Romeo is such an iconic Italian brand, it goes all the way back to 1910, if you could believe that. The birthplace of Alfa Romeo is Milan, Italy, and their first car was the 24 HP, had a 4-liter engine and a top speed of over 60 miles an hour, which, think about it, 1910, that's pretty quick. Fast forward to the 21st century, we have a new lineup of Alfa Romeos that range from the Giulia to the Stelvio to the 4C, and it really brings a great option to go up against some of those other European brands that we're so familiar with. So let's check out this 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. You can see that Italian flair, especially in this red color. Love the headlights, these LED headlights. I really like how slim they are in the corners and just make the front of this thing look so aggressive, which, remember, on an SUV, that's hard to do. Functional venting all the way across the front of the grille. And when we talk about this grille, this is a piece of iconic legend. Anytime you look at Alfa Romeo, I don't care if it was one of their Formula One race cars, I don't care if it's a street car, those early cars, all with this design grille. I really like seeing stuff like that. Sneaking behind the grille, you could see the intercooler, because remember, underneath the hood is a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, putting out 308 foot-pounds of torque and 280 horsepower, and it's going to get up and make this thing go. Let me just talk a little history, since I know that you love the history. Focus back on that Alfa Romeo badge. Badges on cars are so iconic. You look at the Ferrari with the prancing horse, you look at Cadillac, Porsche. If you notice, there's a lot going on in this beautiful badge from Alfa Romeo. This red cross signifies Milan, Italy. That's the colors. Now, if you notice, you'll see that dark green serpent, and if you look extra close, there's actually a man hanging out of the mouth of the serpent and a crown design above that whole insignia. Let me give you the background on this. So, talked about the red cross as Milan, that serpent. So there was a very famous family in Milan, the Visconti family. During the Crusades, which the Crusades are those holy wars, they traveled, one of the knights traveled across this desert to fight this other knight. He was triumphant, and on his return brought back that crest. And that's what that means. It's not actually a serpent eating somebody, it's actually the man's coming out of the man, of the mouth of the serpent. And what that's doing is it's signifying like a rebirth, like a renew. So much history, so much wonderful stuff coming from this Italian icon. If you look at the hood, very, very nice the way that they have some very distinctive body lines. And if you notice, the sides of the hood have an actual pretty high rise to it to really give it a nice flow to it from side to side. As we wrap around these beautiful headlights, I like the wheels. Love the style, love the design, a nice gloss black wheel. My only complaint is that I wish this wheel had just a tad smaller tire on it. Now, the wheel is a 20-inch wheel, so it's a very large wheel. I just would like to see a little bit thinner of a sidewall there, just to add to the extra flair. I love the monochromatic Alfa Romeo badge off the front onto the side there. See the little man? That's cohesive, that's unison. You can see the beautiful Alfa Romeo script on those red calipers, and it just works so brilliantly with the paint, calipers, and wheels. Really sets it off, and that's what's gonna really make this whole thing stand out for you, is that at the end of the day, you have choices other than those other brands, like I said, from Europe. Going into the mirrors, I love this charcoal gray color on the mirror, very slim LED turn signals. And then another thing that I love about it is this wonderful sunroof area. So you have a dual plane sunroof. I like the way it's all blacked out. You got blacked out roof rails, which is really nice. And I like the gloss black trim around the windows. As we drop down, Very distinctive lower sill there. If you notice, it comes out and flares out and then flares back in. It really is a great character line to the side of the car, and it gives it a little bit more flavor. Really digging those wheels front to rear, and I just love that Alfa Romeo script. I could look at that all day long. It's like a piece of art, and that's what I think is so special about these Italian brands. As we wrap it around, really digging what they did with the design of the taillight. Now let me show you what it means to be Italian in design. They could have just made this totally flat and wrap around like any other car. Look at the distinct body line here. Distinct body line. It actually starts in the taillight housing and works its way into the fender. And then to wrap it out back, you have a nice, tasteful, low roof spoiler. And then you'll see with the blackout package on the badging, even love the blackout on the twin exhaust. Very distinctive. You got that beautiful gloss, dark gray color. I know it almost looks black. I think it was smart to keep some of this flat black in here to break it all up. But if you notice, very slim off the back, just a straight down drop. Really just keeps it clean. And I think that's overall the package from front to back. It's a clean design. Let's go ahead and see what kind of spaghetti sauce we got underneath the hood. All right, guys, get your fork ready. The hood is popped. Let's see what type of meatballs we got underneath the hood. It is a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine. Now remember, you can go quadrifolio with this Stelvio if you choose to do so. But you know what? For an inline-4 turbocharged engine, 208 horsepower, 280 horsepower, 306 foot-pounds of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what kind of performance am I going to get from this vehicle that weighs a tick over 4,000 pounds? You're looking at 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds, quarter mile in 14.1, and a top speed of over 140 miles an hour. MPGs, 22 in the city, 28 on the highway. It's one of those things where you got a good balance. You have a good balance of power to the weight. You can get this with all-wheel drive, and like I said, you could go full out, full bore, quadrifolio, which if you're ever wondering, what is this quadrifolio? That's the Italian word for 4-leaf clover. It actually goes back to 1923 when Alfa Romeo was having a bit of a losing streak, and their Formula One driver picked up a 4-leaf clover and kept it with him as he raced. Well, guess what? He won. So of course, Alfa Romeo, being Italian and being awesome, decided to paint the quadrifolio on the sides of all their race cars, which that's where we get that from, and that's why I love just iconic tradition, legend. Let's go ahead and fire up this inline-4 turbocharged engine. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Come on in, see what it's like to wear some Italian designer leather. If you're wondering, all this design, all this Italian flair, what does it cost? You're looking at around MSRP of $46,700 the way that this one sits. Let's see what we get. Let's go to the door panels. Now, I purposely chose this one because I love the red, and I love the red interior. It helps break up the door panel from all the black. I like the soft leather material. The top of the door panel is super soft, but the problem is it looks like an orange that I just ate the other morning. It's a little too much orange peel. I wish they would tone it down a little bit. I do like that black wood design though that is in the middle, the top middle portion there. And I also think it's so fascinating that something as simple as a door handle to open up the door looks so beautiful in that silver, just the way that it's shaped. Excellent choices for design. As we come in, here's more of that orange peel. I wish it was just a little smoother, but it's got a nice soft material to it, and I like the way the dash is very flat. It gives you a great visibility out over the hood. You can see the wood design. I like it in black, silver trim, even the handle to open up the glove box here, that nice silver trim just gives it extra flair. You see how they bring the silver all over the place? You got the red leather on the side, silver around the AC vents. Where we're going to zonk is this infotainment system. First of all, it's very dated. Second of all, it's not super clear. And third of all, it does not fit up this whole area. It should be a little bit larger. Now, you can go into different modes. So you have comfort, you're feeling, environmental friendly that day. You could go into eco mode. And then, of course, sport mode, which is going to adjust, steering and throttle sensitivity. Very easy to use, easy to understand, dual climate control. You actually see the temperatures show up on the screen there. So that's very nice. Now, here's another zonk area. You got a USB here and a 12 volt. Kind of out of place the way they just threw it there. You open this up, nice cover, slides back. You have 2 cup holders. You can see the wonderful Alfa Romeo key fob. It's got the beautiful badge there. Very nice feel to it. It's a little large, but it feels very, very nice. We'll put that back in there, close that up. As we go in this area, there's more of that wood. Here's where they lose me a little bit. I'm gonna zonk this area. Too much black plastic. And that's the problem, is where they're bringing in the black plastic, you're gonna be looking at this, you're gonna be touching in this area. I would like to see the wood trim come in a little bit more. Now you have a bunch of rotary knobs here. One for the stereo, one to go into those different modes I showed you, and then a controller very similar to BMW's iDrive control, where you could go through the different functions of the navigation and all that good stuff. Electric e-brake, great size, great feel on the armrest, and then when you open it up, you got a plethora of power sources, USB, aux, and then it's very soft. So if you need to put, your Italian leather gloves in here, they're going to be very cozy inside. Close that down, and then the seats. Seats are great looking. I wish they were perforated. I think that would actually add to the flavor. You could see how they put those touches of the Alfa Romeo badge in there, but I would like just a little bit more Italian design in the seats. They're comfortable. The bottom portion is a little flat on the flat side, and I would like just a little bit more bolstering on the back portion. But overall, you can see headroom because I have the dual pane sunroof, so it is going to be a little closer to your head just because sunroofs, that's what it does to the inside of the ceiling. But overall, very comfortable. Why don't you come on over to the business end and I'll show you what's behind the wheel. All right, guys, come on inside the Stelvio. Like I said, with these seats, they're comfy. I just wish they were just a little bit more supportive. You do have tons of controls, 8-way power adjustable seats, which are really nice. The steering wheel is probably going to be my favorite part of the interior, is I like the overall feel of it. I wish it was just a tad thicker in this top portion, but the design of it is sexy. That is a sexy steering wheel. Love the monochromatic badge. You have the engine start-stop button on the steering wheel, a la carte from Formula One. And then the gauge cluster is pure Italian. I love the analog tachometer, analog speedometer, and then you have that beautiful digital display in the center. Tells you your radio station. We got Margaritaville playing right now, but it's obviously on mute. And then you got that digital speedometer in there. So what better way to enjoy your Stelvio than to listen to some Margaritaville? But anyways, let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see how comfortable is it. All right, guys, back seat time of the Stelvio. Getting in for 6 feet tall actually wasn't too bad. Lots of headroom, even with the dual pane sunroof. Good amount of headroom back here. Seats are firm, but they are comfortable, especially on the lower back portion, and I think that's going to help for those longer drives. This is where they lose me. I don't like these plastic backs. I know we've had the debate already from my subscribers who are parents. You rather have your kids kick this. I'd rather have it wrapped in this beautiful red leather. You do have rear AC. I like how smooth the motion is on these vents, and just very easy to use. 2 USBs. So thank you for putting 2 USBs, little cubby area, and then overall, very, very comfortable. I think I could go a pretty far distance. We got the sunshade in a little back, a little covered back here, just to keep the sun off me. Nice armrest, 2 cup holders, easy to use. Overall, it's really nice. I would like it just a little softer, but let's go ahead and check out probably the most important part, the rear cargo area. All right, guys, time to check out the most important part of any SUV, which is going to be that cargo area. You push the button, up she goes, power assist, gives you some beep. Nice amount of room. I'm actually quite impressed with this SUV, the amount of room you have back here, especially on the side areas. You have some nice 12 volt here, which is really great. And then when it's time to pull down the seats, you push up on that and then kick her down, and you can see you do the 60-40 tango just for, to prove the flexibility here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one down as well. Now, I wish that first of all, they were down flat. Second of all, I also wish that I didn't have to push it. Like if you're pulling this, it should automatically drop on so many other cars. But you can see the amount of room that you have back here. You do have that sunshade, security shade, which you can remove out of the back if you have something really tall. But you're definitely gonna have that Italian style and also that Italian flair, and go and have some fun. Speaking of fun, let's go ahead and take the Stelvio for a spin. As we're leaving Alfa Romeo Maserati of St. Petersburg, and we're in the 2019 Stelvio, right away you can tell the intentions of Alfa Romeo. Definitely a much sportier feel from this vehicle. And what's awesome is that you have that rear-wheel drive setup, something you're not gonna find on many SUVs, especially ones in this segment. But I love the feel of the steering wheel. I have it right now, of course, in that sport mode, that dynamic mode. Brakes feel great. Let's do a little acceleration. So right away, you can feel the acceleration from that 4-liter turbocharged engine. Now what's nice about it is that the shifts are fairly quick. Are they DCT quick? No, but they definitely are on the quicker side. And with this particular model, you don't have any paddles or anything like that to fumble around with. Now you can take the actual shifter and put it into manual mode and shift that way, which we'll of course do in a few seconds. But overall, quite impressive with the style and the feel of the Stelvio. As we're rolling out, I'm gonna put it into manual mode on the throttle. You can definitely feel the difference in acceleration, especially from the shifts on the gearbox. That 8-speed automatic, as you pull back to go up the gears on this shift lever, very, very quick. I'm gonna zonk the shift lever though. It's very plasticky feeling, and I don't like touching it, to be honest with you. I wish that it had the actual paddles that you could get with the TI package, the sport package, that are column mounted to where you're sitting behind the wheel. But like I said, the shifts overall are much quicker. It does tell you what gear that you're in. I'm in 7th gear right now, cruising along. Visibility out the front, it's really cool because the hood kind of, you see it and then you don't. It just drops off and you feel like you're almost sitting on the front wheels, which is a good sensation, especially when you start to turn up the wick in this thing and get a little sporty with the drive. It's gonna give you better feedback of what's going on from front to rear in the car. Another acceleration test here. We're rolling about 13. I'm gonna get on the throttle. Like I said, 0 to 60 in this vehicle is about 5.7 seconds. For something that weighs around 4,000 pounds, that's really on the quicker side. And it's definitely gonna give you that sporty feel. I love the weight from the steering wheel, and it being rear-wheel drive gives it a great sensation of what's getting transmitted to the back of the car. We're gonna go ahead and take it on a little twisty bit section up here to see how she feels. But let's go ahead and do the downshifts. On brakes, downshift 4th, 3rd, tip it in, on throttle. Feedback is good. As you saw, there wasn't any type of push or understeer into that right-hand turn. And once I got on the throttle, everything communicated nicely from front to rear. And that really overall is a great feeling. And steering, I think, is probably one of my favorite parts in this car. I would like a little bit more sound, especially if I'm in the sport mode of this vehicle. Just enough just to give you something. You do hear the whoosh from the turbo as it spools up, but I would just like a little bit more sound. My biggest zonks are gonna be this mirror, which looks like it's from 2004. It needs to be a frameless mirror. The navigation, it's not pleasant to look at, I'll be honest with you. The graphics almost look like a ColecoVision or Atari system, and I don't know, I wish they could have done so much more with that. They can do so much more with that, I'm sure. You could go through, like I said, the selections using that rotary knob, which is really nice. You could go into car settings, see what the status is of your tire pressure and stuff. You can see an image of a Stelvio, which is really nice. And then, like I said, you could go into those different modes as you're driving along, depending on what you feel. Now, when you're in sport mode, it's going to hold that gear a little bit longer, and it's going to give you quicker acceleration than, say, comfort or eco mode. Easy to make a U-turn in this car. But hustling it down this little twisty section here, it really has good feedback to it for an SUV, especially one that is sitting up like this one does. You feel connected, and I do like that overall with the dynamics of the car. All right, guys, hopefully you got a good feel for this Stelvio. I hope that Alfa Romeo Maserati of St. Pete is going to get one of these with the quadrifolio package. I think that would be pretty mind-blowing to drive that red pasta rocket for sure. But this one overall has been quite enjoyable. A lot of fun to get a feel for the first Alfa Romeo on the channel, on Rady's Rides. So that definitely is a great feeling. But before I sign off, let's just go down this road and enjoy the drive. Brake feel is very, very good. I'm very impressed with the brakes overall. It's got a nice little burble when it shifts. Tip in. Feels really, really good. I'm very, very impressed with the overall balance of this SUV. I think with it being rear-wheel drive is definitely helping with that overall feel. But now, if you're ready, I'm ready to wrap this one up, so I'll see you back at Alfa Romeo of St. Petersburg. See you back in a split second. All right, guys, been a wonderful day here at Alfa Romeo Maserati of St. Petersburg. Definitely got to give a huge thank you to Tom and everybody here at the dealership, allowing Rady's Rides access to these Italian beauties. If these are the types of things you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you haven't seen my other forms of social media, check those out. It's all Rady's Rides original content all the time. If you're looking for some merch, click the link in the description, takes you right to Spreadshirt. And then, of course, definitely check out @MoshPhotos on Instagram. Big Guns McGee taking his photos, doing his thing, showing his love. So definitely show him some love. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.